the Instagram people, I know there were like 1 or 2 waiting for us. So thanks for waiting. So we'll just, without further ado, we'll get started. Yeah, with a very interesting item, which are our framed backpack carriers from Phil&Teds.
I think it's weekend already. Everybody's feeling a bit busy. After like how many days of product showcases, I'm like, what do we talk about?
So enjoy today's last one because we're bringing the showroom to the comfort of your phones or your computer screen. So please enjoy the last showcase.
Yeah, but if you've got like, you know, you want to see, we've got definitely more things here than what we have on the product showcase. I mean, if you want to pop by today, you absolutely do not need any appointments, but you have to come after 2 because just in case our product showcase is still filming and we don't have enough people. But we are open until 5:30. Last ones to come in 5 o'clock. You don't need any appointments. But if you are looking for a fitting and so on, unfortunately, fitting doesn't happen during the sale. So if you want to do a fitting is where you actually try out the carriers here at the book from next Thursday onwards. So once again, thank you for joining us. We're going to start the presentation today. Today we will have frame backpacks, and then we have
and share, okay?
Yeah, like and share, okay. Last
Rochelle.
one.
Rochelle
said,
Rochelle.
Oh, hi, Rochelle. Long time no see. So today we are going to share not just the frame backpacks, which is very interesting because it's not something that we had for a long time, but we only brought them in maybe a year ago or so because people do need one, and sometimes instead of like cringe and say, oh, it's not sturdy, we have some good frame backpack carriers that are on sale right now as well. And then we will be showcasing 2 products, two other carrier products, Tula, as well as the Ergobaby Omni 360. Yeah, and for the Tula, for those of you who are new to Tula and would like to get a Tula, then you will ask FTG or Explore, and then Ergobaby Omni 360 or mesh or not. Okay, and then later we'll be talking also about electrical safety, as well as cabinet and drawer locks. Okay, so without further ado, I think we should share a little bit more about the frame backpack carriers. So what are frame backpack carriers? Okay, look at this.
Oh, yours a bit. No. It's fine.
There you go. Up to you.
No, it's okay.
I give you lighter one. Okay. She bigger size.
Yeah. This one. Yeah. The strap's a bit short.
She thinks she's very tall.
No. I got too much shoulders. Not big chest.
Okay, what are frame backpack carriers? If you notice, we've been showcasing mainly soft structured carriers and some wraps and slings, but some people do like the idea of having frame backpack carriers. Why? Because the truth is that frame backpack carriers put the child further away from you, which is a plus and a minus. Okay, just take note now, these are not for infants. Can you imagine the child inside? Okay, but anyway, these are good only for babies from about 5-6 months onwards with neck support. Okay, so 5-6 months onwards, sometimes you want to go hiking, especially now the situation is that everywhere you need safe entry and etc. Oh guys, if you haven't taken your trace together token, side issue, might want to take it. I think some places are rolling out the safe entry protocol already, so just take them if you haven't. If you don't know what is it, go and Google for it. Okay, so frame backpack carriers allow you to go hiking with the child a bit further away from you because 5-6 months onwards you may want to explore a little bit more, and sometimes having a soft structured carriers, for some dads it don't cut it for if they want to do hiking, simply because there's a body to body contact and makes it quite hot, and having the child slightly further away from you helps to bring in cuts the distance between the 2 of you, so maybe there's no body and body clustering together and perspiring at the same time. So a child sits behind. It's called frame backpack because it has a frame. It has metal frames at the bottom. I think
Michelle will probably show today.
So like a basket, modern basket, a little bit more comfortable. It does come with a hip belt as well. So why Phil&Ted frame backpacks? Simply because actually we check out the quality and these are quite good. And they offer two sizes, one from about 6 months onwards to about 2 years old, and the bigger version that Michelle has. Okay, yeah, that's about 3 years old. But the thing is that with frame backpacks, you have to see if it fits your size. Like for example, for me, I can 勉强 can use the bigger one. The small one is called the Parade, which is really very cheap at the moment. Normal price is 218, now going for 10% off. It's below $200 during the Gladys sale. Gladys sale, just to let you know, ends tomorrow, 2359. Please buy online, or you can come here and pick it up. We've got 2 colors per what design line. Okay, so this is the Parade carrier, slightly shorter. And just let you see what the frills. We have a hip belt like the soft structured carriers that you're used to, and a few other features would be, okay, see how the shoulder straps are shaped. So it makes it a bit more comfortable. Actually, for women, the Parade will fit a bit better. For men, I mean, since you're going to get one frame backpack carrier, right, a big one is good because you can prolong the usage up to maybe about 3 years old. So what's the pros of the frame backpack compared to the soft structured carriers, apart from the heat when hiking, is that
and it stands by itself.
Yeah, it stands by itself. So if you, let's say your child is on you and then you want to take it off, you're getting like, wow, really tired, you can actually take this whole thing off and then just, you see this thing here, it can be folded up. Okay, but you can open up and then it stands by itself. You can see
This one has it too.
Yeah, so these are called frame backpacks. So your child is still sitting down, they can still have their snacks and so on. Okay, for the Phil&Teds, well, the specifications you can actually see on our website itself. But it also comes, just quickly to go through, review some features. It comes with this, what do you call this? This is a safety harness, okay? So it clips the child in place. And actually this has sides as well, so if you find it a bit small, you can actually open up, let the child go in. It has a more comfortable seat here. So on top of the backpack itself, there is an additional cushion here that you can actually adjust so that it fits a child better. Can you see adjustment is here? So like, let's say a bit taller and child, we will loosen it so that the child sits closer to this part. The shorter child, we may want to raise it a little so they are a bit higher above this part. Okay, so what about 5-6 months onwards, because height wise they won't cut it. Okay, and for the Phil&Teds, correct, Phil&Teds, very Morris. Okay, so the Phil&Teds, the Parade itself, it has a lot of space for you to keep things. It actually comes, I'm sorry guys, I don't know, I think I may have lost the pouch, but it comes with a pouch like this. Very cute pouch. Now you know, $218, now going for, hey guys, I know some time ago some customers came in and bought some of these Parade, quite a few of them, and I forgot to mention the backpack is actually hidden inside this pouch here. When you're not using, when your bag is out, you can actually put shoes here or your barang, the kids barang. No need to bring extra diaper bag and all that kind of stuff. So this one gets clipped up here. It's it's not just a pouch. It's actually a backpack for your little one, toddler or preschooler.
Shoulders.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Super cute pouch. Okay, all this comes together, $218. At the moment, 10% off, so below $200. What a steal, right? What a steal. We've got 2 colors, orange, I think, and blue. So available on our website now. When you don't want to use it, okay, let's just talk about adjustability first. Oh, so deep, the inside very deep one. See, can put shoes one. The kids barang also can. Okay. Yeah, we'll water. Okay. Okay, zip it up. How nifty, looks cool, right? And daddy sure like it one. We've got things like pocket here for you to quickly reach out for stuff. Okay, pockets at the sides, and the hip belt. Can you see? It's padded here. Okay, nice buckles, and then this part mesh so that you know when you're perspiring, you don't want the thing too close to you. It has a structure already inbuilt, so it's kind of quite safe. And additional on top of it, what do I want to say? Adjustability. Okay, look here. Of course, like all our soft structured carrier, we cannot say anything cannot adjust. Huh? Cannot adjust one, don't buy, because later you different height, your husband different height or your wife different height how. So we just kind of like have the adjustable buckles for shoulder straps. The hip belt is also adjustable with clever clips like this. So your ends, long one, so you can actually put in. Okay, clip it on so that it's not very messy. See? So it doesn't get in the way while you are hiking. All right. And if you are traveling next time, you can travel easy. This pack's actually quite small. Can you see? When I flatten it, it's quite small. And you can pack it in your luggage bag. Very soon you can travel already. So if you are going overseas and you want to do a lot of hiking, this might be a good buy for you on top of the soft structured carriers that you already have. And it's very compact, very small only. Those people who like a little bit more luxury,
we have the Phil&Teds Escape. Always mix up the names. Parade, Escape, Parade, Escape. Okay. So it's a Parade, so this is the Escape.
So think of Parade.
Larger.
A parade as like, you know, in the city and then they go for parade because they don't need so big. Yeah.
So this is the Escape version. As you can see, I've already put a child in. Of course, this child is not exactly 6 months or so, but this is slightly bigger baby mannequin that we have, so it kind of portrays what it would look like. Of course, naturally, the child will be leaning back a little bit more. My doll can't. And as you can see, there's a little neck rest at the back. It's like the, you know, the airplane ones.
Yeah, this part.
So cute. So this is.
So I'm gonna show you how it goes. See,
this is really luxurious, man. And look at the neck rest. It's like
so instead of
furry,
like two backlight straps, this is like
a
this
full
like
shoulder neck.
Yeah, it's very luxurious. It's soft as well. Sorry, baby picking up. Okay, and for the Escape, because it's bigger also and taller, they actually have straps here that actually brings the child closer in on the top. Yep. And tightens it a bit better so that center of gravity is slightly closer to you.
Still too far away, just tighten these straps backwards. So it's really close. Okay. So this comes with a little canopy. It's like a sun visor. Where's the canopy? It's somewhere inside. So you can actually put a canopy on top. I'm going to show you guys. You know, like when you go in Thailand and you have those elephants hiking. It looks a little bit like that. So it's really luxurious. And this, you can use this to actually cover the child's head.
It's like if you have a light rain, you can actually pull it out. Wow.
Ooh.
And the child is fine. Can you see down here there's 2 slots? It's quite
super easy to install.
It's hot, right? So we kind of put it up in here. And then there's a canopy.
Ta-da!
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. You get a system, but just like your eyes.
And you exercise more.
Yeah. And then it's got like, you know, there's also this part where they actually give you extra, what's that? Very luxurious. You can do like whatever you want. You know, you even have this plastic sheet cover to hook around so that it makes it like, wow, the child really gets protected from the elements.
Or like there's mosquitoes or something, then you know the upper body gets protected.
I'll take it off. So it's like kind of high.
This one, like we said, is up to about 3 years old or 18 kilos. You can check out all the specific specifications on our website, like mentioned before. And also, like to show you, the words are in the way. There are little foot straps, actually, like little slippers at the bottom, which is also very cute. So if the child has kind of long legs, by the time they're almost 3 years old, they can actually slip in their feet into these little slippers. Can you see? And then there's a little elastic band at the back, so the feet won't slip out. So this is really comfortable, and they can actually rest and elevate their thighs with these little slippers or inserts over at the side. And this also, the belt, as you can see, is padded, and it comes with a little pouch where you could put your small stuff like your cards or your keys or anything. And there, it also comes with a rear view mirror because this one is so big, right? You can sometimes see the child. So it's inside the backpack, and also the storage is pretty generous as well. Storage is about 30 liters. So can you imagine? 30 liters of storage inside. And also apparently it comes with a changing mat. Okay, so it's your whole, what do you call it, gear, ultimate parenting gear when you go to the jungle. Escape to the jungle.
I think the dads like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, the dads love this.
And it's just only for $331. At the moment, it's on 10% off, so it's less than $200 if I'm not wrong.
Show you.
It's $297.
Yeah. So
And
good time to gear up.
Also, look at the stand. It's really sturdy. So just like the parade, you just put it down.
Now I have to put this back first before I forget.
Put it down, and it can just stand. So if you need a rest, just like the parade, you just put it down, and your child can continue sitting inside the frame backpack carrier. It's really safe. And anything else that we have missed out? Because these have so many features. Oh
So
yeah,
see, this is the backpack.
correct.
It
It's
comes
an
with
additional
it.
backpack.
So
Which
if
is
you want to
the big
travel,
version.
yeah, or the big version.
So small extra backpack, big extra backpack. Yeah, so if you, this comes with a 1-year warranty, but if you register online, you get 2 years, but if you top up a little bit of money, you can get up to 3 years.
Not on
warranty.
our website, yeah.
Not on ours, on their official website.
It's quite easy to slide out, and when you're done, you can just, I think we'll do it after that.
We do this.
Eyes not so good. Yeah. So it's absolutely something I would get if I were to go hiking. I didn't know that such one section.
3-point harness.
Yeah.
I couldn't really show you.
You know, I kind of really like it that it has small little pockets at the side where the key belt is, so you can put some change when you need anything.
Here.
It's really a luxury.
Ready to go into the version here. And little slots over here as well.
Okay.
In the center. And then apparently for the escape, because you're escaping in the jungle, right? So you need extra water. So there's
Can
a
you see?
water storage space over here.
And you can put your water bag inside. Yeah.
So if you want to have the exact specification, because if we're going to ramble about the specifications, not only is it boring, but I think you can't remember. So go to our website, babygatesletternsafety.com, and you can check out the Phil&Teds Escape and Parade over there.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Frame backpacks. Okay. Actually, going to do some more carriers.
Yes. We're not done yet.
We're not done yet with carriers. Okay. By demand. Okay. Like and share if anybody who's looking for Tula or Ergobaby Omni 360. Please share that with your friends because they may thank you very much for it. You know, carriers, they are a little bit of an investment. It's not like something that you buy for $20 to $30, right? So usually they cost a little bit more, $200 to $300 or maybe $100+. You want to make sure that something that you buy works for you and is comfortable for you. So before you head out and get any of the carriers, you might want to listen to what we have to say about the Ergobaby Omni 360 as well as the Tula Free to Grow versus the Tula Explore. Okay? So here on showcase would be our Omni 360 from Ergobaby. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to use how the features of a Ergobaby 360 Omni 360. Why Omni 360? This is one of the models that don't need any infant inserts. All right, here we do not recommend any kind of bulky inserts. Why? Because if you think about it, when you put a big, really bulky structure like a mattress around the infant, can you imagine how it is molding to your infant? It definitely mattress to mold as well if we can squash it around the baby, right? So normally we don't recommend that. And plus, it's cumbersome for anyone to use. Plus, in Singapore, it's crazy, right? So not logical at all. So Omni 360 doesn't use any bulky inserts. It has adjustable base for the child, and it also has okay, they work the same way. So Michelle and I will show you the same. This one is mesh and the other one is cotton. Okay, we'll share a little bit more about mesh or cotton. All right, later on. Okay, so how you use is that for the Ergobaby Omni 360, you realize that unlike this comparative to our Manduka baby carriers as well as the Tula baby carriers, Boba, etc., you will find that this one, the belt comes in two portions. So they sometimes call this a lumbar support. So you will see that actually the belt is actually quite short. It's not so wide at the back, you know, then there's this part of the hip belt. So it comes in two portions. So sometimes when we are out, we always see people put the belts off center. Off center means that the weight distribution not so good for you. Okay, if it fits you and you are wondering why is it off, you need to check your hip belt first. Okay, so basically what you do is that you put on the carrier like any of the soft structured carriers that we have, buckle it on. Please remember that there is a little elastic band. We should always put it through for safety reasons. All right, so with any carriers, not just Ergobaby, we tighten. You will realize that both sides, sorry, this is black, can't really see. So we should tighten on both sides, all right, to make sure that this portion sits right in the middle of your back, okay? So we'll bring to the back, all right, and then tighten some more so that it's snug and secure and comfortable, all right? So the Ergobaby, you will see there are a couple of buttons here, all right, and here. See the gray one here, and then the black one is here where this part buttons to. So if you button to the inner button, which is the gray one, is generally used for forward facing out positions. This carrier, once again, can be used front, back, and side carry as well as forward facing out. So all you need to do is to change the setting on the hip belt here. Just quickly, let me show you. Okay, here, Velcro. Can you see the red, yellow, and blue showing? So, okay, smaller setting. Ta-da! See, the carrier becomes smaller. Okay, and then you widen accordingly when you need to, as the child grows. Okay, so this can be used up to 20 kilograms. Okay, I'm just going to put it back on. Notice how this is sitting right in the center of my back. Okay, we'll hold the carrier up for baby. Okay, spread the legs like any other carriers. Slide it up, and then we put on the straps. Okay, the Ergobaby, just to take note, if you are petite frame, I'm afraid it might not fit you very well because the shoulder straps are very longish. Okay, so again, share this with your friends, simply because a lot of people have come here for consultations and they already have an Ergobaby Omni 360. Doesn't work for them. Try as we might, I can't cut off the straps. I can't shorten this part, okay? So Asian frames, please take note, all right? So we'll tighten up and then it For a newborn, it reaches up to here. If it's too long as well, it will be something that you might want to take note of. We must make sure that we are able always to see the baby's face, okay? And all the tightening is done regularly like any of the other carriers, okay? What's this for? Does it come with a hook? Hi guys, if you've got any questions, you can always ask, okay? We're not monsters, we won't eat you up. And furthermore, we are very far away from you. Look, there are buttons here. So for those people who want to put kind of like button it a bit higher so that there is a neck rest for the child, you can do so, all right? When you forward face up, this one goes down, right? So that it doesn't get into the child's face. Okay. Sleeping hood. Just in the pocket. Just pull it up. So this is the sleeping hood for the Ergobaby Omni 360. Michelle has with her
the mesh version of the
mesh
Ergobaby Omni 360, which is almost identical apart from a couple of things. The seat adjustments are exactly the same, but for where she has buttons, I have a little sliding.
I think the new ones actually all come with sliders.
New ones all come with sliders.
These are older ones.
So if you can see, if you slide it down, the seat gets narrowed, and that's when you use it for outward facing position as like a front facing. But if you want to face your baby towards yourself, then you have to widen the seat back again. All right, to have enough seat base for them to face inwards. And also, unlike and there's only very minor difference. The sleeping hood was inside a slot here. For the mesh version, they actually use a zipper to hide and conceal the sleeping hood, as you can see. All right, colors are the same. Very hard to see.
Yeah.
All right.
So the question then is mesh or no mesh? How come I'm so short?
Because you're standing more behind. Perspective. Can I just
so tiny, you know what she said?
Pers
I'm tiny.
perspective.
Because she looks from so far away. But anyway, so cotton or mesh? If yeah, people always ask for mesh carriers. I'm like, I want to cringe really, say so many times. But to be very honest with you, if you really want mesh one, you need to have something that's quite see-through. If not, you have to feel the mesh itself. Some meshes can be a bit scratchy. So to feel the fabric before you purchase, especially if you are icky like me. So actually in Singapore weather, cotton actually works very well because it breathes very well. It's a natural fiber. It tends to be cooler against the skin. After a while, the mesh fabrics usually will feel a bit warmer. How the mesh fabric works is like windows, okay? If you have a window, just one window or two windows on opposite sides of the room, and you only let out one, you only open one window, there's not going to be any airflow, okay? Window works by air entering and air coming out. So that's basic science. So we need the circulation, one in, one out. The same thing if you go and take a canned food, or we used to do science experiments, right? Condensed milk, you just poke a hole, you pour, sometimes the thing doesn't come out. If you poke another hole, then the milk will start to, the contents will start to drip out. So you need one in, one out for it to work. So when it comes to carrier, the thing is that so how the mesh works is that if it's very close to child's body, then there is a limit. And the other thing is that for mesh, it needs to be constant air circulation. So in Singapore, it's actually quite humid, very humid in fact. So when the air is stagnant, there cannot be airflow. Even with mesh, if there is air here, maybe the child will feel on their back. Okay, for you, no difference one, whether you mesh or no mesh. Usually, it only makes a little bit of difference to the baby. So when it's a mesh, you need a constant airflow. But if you do not have constant airflow, like Singapore, very stagnant air and very humid, it tends to limit how much how much cooler it can feel for the baby. Yeah. Okay. So mesh or no mesh, I leave it up to you.
It's a bit like, usually compare it to, would you put mesh on your pillowcase because air doesn't go out, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is similar kind of a feeling, I guess.
Yeah, so it's really personal.
Yeah.
If you are wondering mesh or no mesh and you need help, you can always come here and check it out. Of course, after 1st of November, at the showroom, we resume our fitting. So yeah, fitting starts from next Thursday. If you guys are watching and wanting to book a fitting, sale prices won't actually apply from then, but then our slots are filling up, so please, if you want to come by, please book, because I don't think we can take any last minute ones for next week. May not be so possible. So if you want to come for a fitting, please book for next week's fitting already. Okay, having said that, we are done with the Ergobaby Omni 360. Remember, you can come here and feel it for yourself and try it out with fitting. All right, take the baby out.
And we'll be moving on with, because of high demand, people would like to know more about Tula Free to Grow and the Tula Explore.
Yeah, which one is more suitable?
Yeah, so which would suit your needs more? So today we're going to talk again about the features of both the Free to Grow and the Explore. Let me just
so we are kind of sharing features as to how it fits you. Baby slings and carriers is all about getting the right fit, because you can have all frills or all kind of bells and whistles kind of carriers. But if it doesn't fit you, yeah, you can suffer. No point. Okay.
So if you answer any of the above, yes, like do you have shoulder aches, back aches, baby refuse to get inside, you might want to get a fitting done, because maybe it's just the way the carrier fits onto you guys, and the only way to find out is to come and try. So moving on to the Tula. So if you want a no frills kind of carrier, which is really simple and straightforward, no bells and tingles, the Free to Grow is actually a great option. And then we also have, Pauline is holding the Explore. Oh, she's okay. I was like, why so weird the carrier today?
Okay, actually all the carriers are simple Manduka, Boba, and they are all simple, they are all similar. Not one is more complex. Even the Ergobaby is actually quite similar, simple and straightforward to use. So I mean, sometimes people ask you, I hear that this carrier is the simpler carrier. Yes and no, depends on what context you put in. So usage wise, they are all the same. Close the buckles at the hip belt, adjust the shoulder straps, hook on your buckle on your chest straps, and you're good to go. Most of them do have a sleeping hood, so it's very, very straightforward for all the carriers. The only thing is that when we say simple, is probably simple in structure. Okay, so just not to be confused. So this is how the belt looks like for the Tula Free to Grow, as well as the Tula Explore.
It's very similar.
Yeah, they are all similar. In fact, I think when they produce in the factories, they make them all together. I'm pretty sure, because if you look at the shape of the belt, how do we compare? Just let me know. And I'm like, can you see the belt is the same? So some people ask, if I don't fit these, this one of it, maybe a Free to Grow or Explore, can I then fit the other Tula? Actually, high chance no. But then again, if you are not so sure, do go for a fitting, because sometimes we have people who don't fit the Free to Grow and the Explore fits nicely for them, and vice versa. All right,
it happens.
Yeah, and then of course there are others that didn't fit at all. Okay, so whatever brand it is, always better to do a fitting.
So also again, another feature which they have are common traits, they're totally siblings of each other, is the adjustment of the seat base. Not sure whether you can see. There are three. The pink one will be more contrasting. So it's 3 little buttons, push buttons at the belt.
Yes, snaps here.
Okay,
so you kind of slide, like just now the Ergobaby Omni 360, right? It uses Velcro. This one uses snaps.
So you just slide the panel like this, so seat base, to shorten it. And then if, let's say, you have a newborn of 3.5 kilos and above, they usually are at the first setting most commonly. So you just button down the first button. Yeah. Wait, no. And there you have it. Can you see it's shortened? The seat is now narrow, and the Tula Explore functions the exact same way. So you have a much older child, they're going towards toddlerhood because this carrier is easily, it's suitable for up to about 2 years old. The Explore as well. You just undo the button, slide out the seat base like this. Can you see it extended as compared to the other side? And then you just button down all three of the buttons for the full width of the seat base.
This kind of looks like a beep for me.
Huh?
Does it look like a beep?
A bit. What?
I'm
Okay,
hungry
go eat now. Can you see the difference? It goes this wide, and this is like the smaller setting on the left side.
Okay. Widest
Yeah,
setting.
this is the widest, this is the shortest. So you can see there's a difference. Okay, now moving on. This one will be different from the Explore. There is panel height adjustments at the front. If you can see this buckle here and the strap. If I pull it down, okay, I can't pull down anymore. It's already on the shorter setting. Can you see that there's extra fabric folded up over here? Okay, so if I release this buckle, the panel height will increase. So for taller, older babies, you can increase the panel height just like that. And if you want to shorten it for newborns, obviously you just have to tighten this part. So for the Tula Explore, there's no height adjustment because it's a front-facing carrier. It has a front-facing function basically.
Yeah, so how the Tula Explore works, the forward-facing function is the same as just now what you saw in the Ergobaby Omni 360. You see buttons here, the black one that I showed you. So there's buttons here. It's actually Tula and Ergobaby belong to the same company, so you might see some of the things very similar. In fact, the buttons are similar. You kind of make this smaller on the smaller setting if you are forward-facing out. Apart from that, everything goes on the outside, all right? It's got a big-like thing here. It is a neck structure with a little bit of it is a so-called neck support. It's got a little bit of sponge, so some people would like to have it. Okay, take out then button to wear. So silly, right? Some people will say. Actually, if you notice, if you see here, a lot of people don't know this feature. You need to flap open this part, huh?
Which is slightly different.
Yeah. So you need to slide it in and button it on so that it stays there, and it is cannot be seen now. It's quite nifty and neat in that sense. And you can clip up both sides so that baby enjoys a little bit more privacy. Maybe if you're breastfeeding and you're using the Tula Explore. Okay. Other than that, forward facing up, always down. Okay, simply because then it doesn't get in the baby's face. All right. And for the Tula, does it come with sleeping hoods? They do.
Free to grow, yes, and Explore also.
Yes. Okay. The sleeping hood will be hooked to here. You see this part? I'm sorry, I didn't take out the sleeping hoods, but there's a small little contraption here, and then you kind of like it comes with button. Okay, maybe I will just
here. There's a little loop. The free to grow loop is a little more obvious. You can see from here. It's on the inside of the carrier. For the Explore, it's a little bit more. Yeah, it's pretty.
You wanna put it on?
Yeah,
So
put it on.
Sleeping hood.
It's nicely sewn onto the inside of the carrier. Where's my? No, I lost it again. So very similar. Explore and both the free to grow. They have these buttons under hood. Not this one. Don't go and loop this one through the loop inside the carrier. This one is to fasten over the baby's head later on. This one is the one that you loop through the hole here. You see this loop? This one is a bit more clear. It's not so flat. Loop it through. Press on the hood. And I do the same for the other side. And the sleeping hood is attached.
I got a sleepy hood.
Sleeping hood. I'm sleepy. So you can see that
she went partying. I think so. Friday TGIF.
So there are quite a few buttons, so you can adjust according to whatever height you want to put the hood over your baby's head. And then there's another little button over here, so you just do this. So yeah, no strength to it.
Yeah. So then you can sleep.
There you go.
All right. So that's for the Tula. I wanted to say Tula baby. Tula free to grow and the Tula
Explore.
Okay. And guys, if you're not so sure, we always recommend that you do a fitting first. During the sale, if you come today, unfortunately, you can't do a full fitting because we do collect fitting fee of $20 that's rebatable. 1 hour of service where we go through with you the specifics. I always think that it's important that we get ourselves properly fitted up. If you already know more or less what you want, then of course you can buy at a gratitude sale. To be very honest, we have a 2-year support program which nobody else gives because who wants to see your face all the time? Oh, I'm just kidding. 2 years support, no, 3 times free, which means to say when you get a carrier from us, we have the obligation to actually help you adjust it or teach you how to use it. Within 2 years after 3 times for free, we otherwise offer consultations. If you buy a carrier from outside and you get it like you're suffering, why do you suffer? Just come for a consult with us and find out if you are doing wrong and can we help you adjust so that it feels better and how do you wear it properly. If you are sorry, my phone rang, so maybe it's okay. Yeah, so basically, if you find that you would like to come for a fitting, do that. Book for our fitting online. So consultation, just now I was mentioning, right? If you have a problem with your career, don't sit at home to suffer. You can always get a consult with us, and if it doesn't work out, we will tell you what might work a bit better. We'll let you try as well, and then you can decide yourself if that is going to be a better way to wear your child. Okay, so that's it for the Tula as well as the Ergobaby. The Tula free to grow goes for $259, and the Tula Explore goes for $299. You might like to know that they are on special discount at the moment, with some going for as low as $209. Okay, only for the gratitude sale. Okay, not to be repeated. And remember, rather than getting your carriers somewhere else and then after that paying us for consultations because you cannot work it out, get your carriers from us because of the 2 years free support. Otherwise, you'll be paying a lot more in consultations and for help to teach you how to wear it properly and to have your baby ergonomically placed. And more importantly, ignore all the bad eggs you get from improperly adjusted carrier. Okay, so yep, check it out. You're still entitled to that 2 years of free support. You come in an orange card. Okay, gives you special discount as well at our stores, all our 3 stores actually. Babyslingsandcarriers.com, babygatesandSafety.com, and even don't have just points. Okay.
All right. So next up, we'll have our cute little teammate. Where's our cute little? No.
She's not
coming in today.
It is to pull out. No.
Okay. Well, then we'll be moving on to the safety segment, which will introduce our colleague. I'll introduce our colleague Donnie, and he'll be taking over the next segment.
Hello. Yes. Okay. So next segment, we're going to go through more safety for home. For home, maybe we'll start with a lot of people come here and they ask about electrical safety. Usually, people's idea of electrical safety is they will look for socket covers. Basically, the idea is that if you have electrical outlets like this, you're worried that the child might actually take something, poke into here, and actually, we all know that. Or some people may not know that actually one of these is actually the live, meaning that if you're going to poke something metallic inside, you can get a shock circuit from the outlet. So the worrying part is because kids, they'll be curious and they will start to explore all this, and it can be really, really dangerous. One of the ways that you can, of course, try to prevent that is to actually cover up sockets that you don't use at all at home. So if you have at home that you have open sockets that you don't use, of course in Singapore our sockets usually have a switch. So make sure you don't switch on sockets that you are not using, first thing. Second thing, refrain from using, there is adapters, plastic adapters that are used to, for the convenience of using the European plugs, the two-pin plugs. So you poke in and then after that you can easily insert. The use of those can be quite dangerous with kids because when you use those basically open the catch here that is supposed to be inside and protects this is like a last ditch defense. So basically, if you have the catch on, there is little chance that a child can easily just poke something in. But if you have something that pokes in this way, you can see it actually opens up the catch. So for those adapters, you want to make sure that they are out of reach of your child, and use them if possible. Don't use them where the child can actually reach the sockets. And the other best way to do this is that sometimes exercise the out of sight, out of mind kind of concept. One way is to actually get a good, I emphasize, a good socket cover. A good socket cover should actually cover up the hole completely, like this one. You can see this is an open one. This is the one that I have the socket cover on. This is a rear socket cover. It's designed specially to have rounded edges throughout, so it's difficult. It's impossible for someone to actually try to remove the cover simply by grabbing onto this thing. It comes with a little catch here, and this catch, once you have inserted the socket cover, you can then press it in and it secures itself. So for example, now if I get a little kid, come Kilia, you want to try? Can you try removing this? Try. From the top, from the side. It's not that easy. It's really not that easy. So typically for a cover like this, I find them very useful, not just for little kids, but if you have sockets, open sockets in your kitchen. Sometimes, you know, when we're cooking and all that, there's a lot of oil. Put a cover down there so that you don't have the oil doesn't go into the sockets to cause problems. Sometimes the oil can accumulate within sockets, and you can actually get a short circuit from that. So socket covers like this can be very useful for babies. Babies, once the socket is not there, you realize that the babies usually would not be going after the sockets anymore, and you can be sure that there's no way to get this out. So to take out this one, all we have to do is to take out the catch. So their design is specially designed such a way that it makes it very easy for you to take it out. So this is taking it out, this is putting it back in, and put on the catch like this. Okay, so this will be very useful for sockets around your house. So if you have, and of course from the safety angle, I would always advocate to refrain from having too many of the multi plugs lying around exposed. Exposed means that you're going to leave it as a target for the child. So when they see, oh, that looks like something interesting with all the wires sticking out, they are likely to go after it. So two ways you can do it. One way, I will usually advocate the use of extension cords like this. If possible, plug it in one wire. This one, try to put it out of reach of the child. Out of reach of the child. So instead of leaving it on the floor, you can put it maybe on a shelf. There's a shelf nearby. But what if you don't have a shelf? There's nowhere to hide it. There is another option. That is to use what we call a cable box. A cable box like this can be really, really useful. Basically, okay, you can see that it is quite safe. Even I cannot open it. Okay. This cable box from rear is actually quite luxurious. You can see it's quite big in there with some shapes at the side. This grooves at the side is to help you with organizing the wires going in and out. And they actually have air vents below. Air vents below is because when you have a lot of adapters and sometimes plugs, and there would be heat generated. So it would actually be a risk if, say, you're going to block up everything and there's no ventilation. So it's important to have ventilations. At the same time, it should be big enough to put in your wire. You can see I can put in a adapter extension cord with up to 4. So pretty luxurious. You can put it in there. Organize the wire. Goes in nicely like this, and then you can have all your adapters, you know, your phone adapter, your whatever adapters, put it in there. There's still enough height, this much going in there, so you can actually still plug in everything. After that, you will close it up. It has a very simple dowel lock here. So this lock, of course, is not one of those sophisticated bank type of lock. This is just a simple dowel lock. There are like I think 12 numbers. One of the numbers you can open, so don't tell your child, especially the older ones. But otherwise, it's simple enough for the adult to use. So once you turn it properly, you actually lock it, and the child won't be able to open it. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So you can see, once I lock it properly, you can't take out the box anymore. So this will then be replace your extension cord on the floor. You can leave it on the floor, it doesn't matter, because now the child has no access to the power cables inside. Of course, there will still be the one cable outside, but you're reducing the risk. Like I say, out of sight, out of mind. The child cannot actually see the actual power extension adapters that's inside. So this would actually be, they actually have small little holes here at the top. These are for your phone adapters, because the phone charger, because once you have a phone charger hidden inside, you still want to have access to your USB port. So you take out your USB cable from this small little hole, and then you place it somewhere on top. So that's easier for you to charge your phone. But some people will say, yeah, what if my child takes the USB port and put it inside their mouth? Okay, that one, if you have it out there, that can be potentially a risk, but we all know that at least the USB port in maybe 12 volts, it won't kill you. You know, they might actually get a slight shock, but that's unlikely to kill them. But if you want to avoid that, then you hide everything in there. Whenever you want to charge, then you take out the wire. That will make it even safer. Okay? Okay, Kile, you can go and try open this. Okay, go to the side. Okay, Kile is already 7 years old. She can understand that the one number works. So, but for the younger child, which typically for electrical safety, we should be explaining to the child once they're a little bit older, maybe about starting from 3-4 years old. We should explain to them the danger of it. And most kids would be able to follow that pretty well. So most of this safety product we are targeting up to maybe 2-3 years old. Okay. Okay. So now we talk about electrical safety already. The next thing we're talking about is basically safety locks. A lot of our homes, we are built for convenience of us, you know, to live in. We have cabinets, we have your cupboard, and a lot of times, you know, these days homes are getting smaller unless you you live in a bigger house. But as the home gets smaller, we try to hide more things behind the cupboard somewhere. So the thing is that when a child comes, when there's a new child in the home, and they are growing up, when they are 1, 2, 3 years old, they will start to explore. And a lot of things that inside the cupboard is something which we will not feel comfortable that the child get access to. So things like, for example, in your kitchen, there is the cabinet for the knives, for the fork, and then near your toilet, you may have actually all your cleaning appliances, your bleach and stuff that you keep inside the cupboard out of sight. But you know, the last thing you want is the one fine day find your kid opening the bleach and start drinking it. I think that would be disastrous. So there would be a lot of cupboards like this in your house. And safety lock comes in. Again, I emphasize that a lot of things are designed not for safety locks or safety gates per se. So we always have the challenge of how do we find a lock that matches. So what I would say is that first identify which drawers or which cabinets that we definitely would want them secured. That means you will feel more comfortable that the key cannot open them. If you don't already have a lock, then we have to look for alternative, which is a temporary safety lock. I say temporary because most of the safety locks are designed to last maybe for the first few years of your child. So once you identify that, then you have to decide. For example, if the kitchen has just way too many drawers, so you have like 10, 20 drawers in your kitchen, just plus your stove, plus your oven that you need to secure, it might actually be more makes more sense for you to actually cordon off the whole kitchen instead of buying locks for every single cabinet. Because once you have the lock, understand that it means that you have to have one more step, opening every single cabinet. So it may or may not be very feasible for somebody who needs to open the cabinet 10 times, 20 times a day. So decisions to be made. So like I say, rationalize out, look at what you need to do, and if you find that a gate makes more sense, you might just want to cordon off the kitchen with a gate. Or you can, some people choose to do both. It happens. So because they have older kids that they want to prevent as well, and then the younger kids, they will block using the gate. Next, we look at the options. There are many kinds of safety locks that is available in the market. Not all locks works for everything. You have to look at the portion that you're trying to cover, the cabinet or the drawer, and then you look at the lock itself. How do they fit into that area, and how are they supposed? How can they work well? So maybe I show you a few examples. I'll start with one of the more favorite type of locks, which is what they call the multi-locks. Totally out of the big multi-lock here. No more. Okay, so multi-locks are usually the ones that we talk about that they are strips. Okay, we have more, but just that some of them are out of stock recently. We have a big mad rush for all this, maybe because of the CB, so people are rushing for it. Multi-locks are popular. Why? Because they allow you to actually place on the outside of cabinet. You can use multi-locks. Some multi-locks can be used on not just cabinet. You can use it on the fridge. You can use it even on the washing machine. So essentially, they are convenient and they are easy to visualize. So basically, you say that, okay, I need to lock this place. So you basically put it across, it locks it, and that is a convenient way to actually lock a place. So multi-locks are useful, but they are external, meaning that it's usually stick-on. No drilling involved, but it will mean that you need a good surface to stick on. So if you have your cabinet is rough or it has certain texture, it may not work so well. So you have to look at some of these, and sometimes the cabinet may have an edge coming out that obstructs the use of a multi-lock. So things like this, it is really a case-by-case basis. You have to actually take a look at the lock and take a look at the cabinet. If you have any issues or you have any challenge doing that, one way you can do it is to actually maybe take a photo, come by or send it to us, or maybe come by to the showroom and discuss with us what can work for you. Okay? There are other external locks that are specially designed for the site. So sometimes you have, you have cabinets or maybe a bedside drawer that, it just by itself is just a drawer, and you want to secure that. One way, very easy, is to use something like this. It basically goes by the side, secured using tape. Let me show you how it looks like. You can see this is how the lock looks like. Very simple. What you do is you will secure part of this onto your, maybe imagine this is your drawer coming up this way. You stick it on your drawer. This one you stick to the side of the drawer. And when your drawer closes, it goes in and clips. And when you want to open, this is actually what they call a two-action lock. The new European standard for safety locks is two-action lock, meaning that if you want to remove this, you want to open this lock, it has to involve two actions. It cannot be just one action. One action means that by fluke, the child can just open, press anyhow, and get it open. And that is not considered a safety lock. That is something that you buy from a mama shop. They are not certified. Okay? For something that's certified, they need to have two actions. You can see press. They actually have two actions involved here. You have to press this and this together before you can open your drawer. So you press and you press, then you can open. So this is convenient for those small little drawers that you can actually secure from the side. So like I said, this is a little bit different from the multi lock that we saw, the soft ones that can go on a flat surface as well as going around the corner. This one allows you to just strictly go by the side of the drawer. So what is the advantage of this versus the multi ones, the really flexible ones? Let me show you a flexible one. This one is a flexible one. It looks very similar. You can see this one versus this one. They can work very similarly. This one, of course, I can actually put it flat this way. It will still work. This one, of course, I can't. But if I'm going to use it for a corner like this, the difference is this. This one, once I open, it comes clean. This one goes out with the drawer, it goes back in. It is very neat. This one, on the other hand, if I were to take it out, you notice that once I open this, the strip will start to flap around. So sometimes after you open, you may have to rearrange. This one goes in before you can lock. So in terms of convenience wise, you will find that some people might find this a hassle over time if they are using it a corner versus something like this. This might actually make a bit neater and also easier to use. Okay. Okay, those are the corner ones. There are actually a lot of those are mainly the external locks, meaning that you put the locks on the outside. You can see the locks themselves. Some people prefer those because they find that they want to know where the locks are. At least you know that it's being locked or it's not locked. But there are people who prefers that I want to keep it discreet. I want the locks in there, but I don't want it so obvious. It's going to spoil the look of my house. So there are actually a lot of internal locks. Okay, there are a few different types of internal locks that we're talking about. The simplest type is something like a hook, something like this. Okay, something like this is basically a small little hook that goes in, and once you close your cabinet or you close the drawers, it hooks onto that, and basically in order to open it, once you open it catches there and you have to press down the hook before you can open. This is the simplest type of cabinet lock, very traditional. A lot of people are familiar with them. Most will require putting in screws into your drawer or cabinet. Simple ones like this. They are not expensive. They usually come in a big pack, and you can get them like like this one. It's $9.90 before discount, and you get 12 pieces. So you have a lot of drawers and all to lock, and you don't want to spend a lot of money. This can be a very good choice. But later I will show you there are different types. In fact, there are improved locks these days that do not just prevent the opening, but it prevents finger pinching. What do you mean by finger pinching? Imagine a child opens a drawer or cabinet, and it gets hooked by the safety lock. The next thing they are going to do is that they are just say, okay, this one going to move, I'm just going to close it back. So when they close it back, they are not going to be smart enough to actually extract their finger fast enough. So they are going to end up closing the drawer or the cabinet on their own hand. So this is why I call finger pinching. So basically, in order to prevent finger pinching, these days there are smarter locks that actually takes care of that. Okay, let me show you. These are the ones that I showed. Let me show you. This one is a more designer type. You can see. This one is a simpler one. Requires screw to install. Oh, okay, sorry. Screws. This one requires screws, and this one similarly. This one you might actually be able to see how it works quite clearly, because what happens is that when we talk about safety locks that prevent finger pinching, how it works is this. The catch is actually a two-step catch. Whenever you pull or open a cabinet, the hook goes into a holding area. So basically it hooks on and clicks. And when you try to close, it doesn't allow you to close as well. So basically it keeps the drawer or the cabinet open in a very small gap. So you click, you can't push back. So it prevents the child from closing the cabinet or the drawer on their own hands. So in order to close the drawer or cabinet again, the adult would actually have to help, press it down, close it. So this is the more advanced type of inside lock that allows for two-step prevent finger pinching. And depending on the design, some of the simpler ones usually require screw to install, because there's quite a lot of force required to actually operate the hooks. So if you press too hard, and you will require screw to secure it to the drawer and cabinet. There are some which are specially designed to also be able to operate using tape. So they will provide screws as well, but you have the option to actually use just the 3M double-side tape to install the hooks, and you only use the screws if you feel that it's necessary. If you have a particularly strong child that likes to test the strength of the locks, then maybe putting in the screw to reinforce would be a good idea. But otherwise, you can use some of these without using screws. So depending on which one you choose, these are the ones that actually prevents finger pinching. So understand that these are available, but there are of course some prerequisites to this. I have to take note, because a lot of times a lot of people buy locks and then they didn't check that the drawers actually has space to actually install. So most of these hooks comes in, they have to have a place to, of course, place the hook. There is a place to actually place the catch. So check your drawer or your cabinet usually is okay, but drawers particularly, make sure that you have a space to put both these components, because a lot of drawers in locally I've seen before, the drawers actually, the top drawer may be okay, but if you have like a 3-tier drawers, the bottom drawers actually doesn't have anywhere to put the catch, meaning that you may be able to put the hook, but there is nothing on top. On top is basically the top drawer already. So for something like this, you may not have a choice but to consider maybe an external lock, because internally there is no place to actually place hooks and a catch. So something like this, you have to look at the hook, look at what needs to be installed, and try to visualize in your drawer, are there any space for you to actually install those things. So for safety locks, those are important things for you to look at. No? We have also something really special. This is also internal lock. It's actually a set of magnetic locks. Magnetic locks are really, really useful because they not just prevent finger pinching. They basically don't even allow you to open it, the door at all. Why? Because like for example, this is a Kipco one. We have a real one as well. So basically, all you do is that you just stick on inside the. It looks something like this. If you can see the picture, so you stick the lock inside the catch, and it's operated with a magnet on the outside. So it is hidden, yet you operate the hook using a magnet from the outside. So you have to memorize somewhat where the lock is. So if you do not know where the lock is, you can't open it. So that's the catch. Although I think the real ones, they even provide you with a little sticker so you can stick on the outside of your cabinet in case you forget. So basically, same function like the internal locks, just that this one, it hooks on and it prevents the door from opening completely. So you won't be able to even open it by a little bit. So zero finger pinching risk. The only risk that you forget where the lock is. It comes with a key, a magnetic key, for you to place where the lock is. It will then lower the hook to allow you to open your drawer or your cabinet. But totally discreet, very, very neat. Both are stick-on designs, option to reinforce with screws. So they provide screws for you, but generally all you need is to just take out the 3M tape, install. They both come with installation guide, meaning that physical guide. So all you have to do is just follow the instructions. Extremely easy. It takes you about a minute or two to install one. Really, really good. All you have to make sure, again, make sure there is any space to put in the locks, because I've seen people who bought the locks and realized that they can't use internal locks simply because there's no place within the cabinet or the drawer to actually install the parts. Okay? Any questions?
What type of lock can I use in my glass display cabinet?
Glass display cabinets. Okay, I'm just coming to that. Glass display cabinets. Okay, for glass display cabinets, usually the glass, if you're talking about a I don't know whether you're talking about the sliding one or is it the open one. I think the sliding one is quite rare these days. Thank God, like very old school. Huh? But the new ones are usually open two ways, this way. And for those, I think the best solution might actually be something like this. This is a double door lock. It's a very, very unique design. Let me just show you. Okay, something like this. So basically, this one is what they call a double door lock. It's a really, really interesting mechanism. Okay, so imagine now you have a cabinet that opens this way, okay? And you usually, when you open this way, there's either a shelf somewhere in between or on top or bottom. So what you do is that you have to find out a place to actually place what they call their catch, okay? So imagine now if I have a cabinet with a shelf in between. What I'll do is that I would stick something like this, you can see, something like this, underneath the shelf. And once I close my door, the door must have a little gap, maybe about 1.5 mm, kind of a gap in between. So usually I'll say that most glass cabinets have about 3 mm at least between. So you imagine this one sticks on the bottom of the shelf, and once the door is closed, you take this lock and you clip it in. Okay? Okay? So what you do, you just unlock, press, take out, you can then open the door. Close the door, you take the lock again, and you put it place back in. It comes with many different kinds of adapters, meaning that this is convenient for the shelves. There are some which may have like the door open, there's actually something in between. You can actually stick something like this too. Yeah, something like this. This will work as well. It comes with different size catch that you can choose and use. They come with different size. You can see these are the longer ones. I can actually swap it for a short one like this. Okay, this is the longer one, this is the shorter one, huh? Something like this. So it comes with different types, but essentially you use the same lock. The lock basically just catch it in and it blocks both doors from opening. So something like this might work very well for the typical kind of glass doors. If your glass door is the type at the side, you realize if you can actually utilize some of the external locks that we have shared just now, that you can lock from the side. We have the ones that can lock in the center as well, external locks. Of course, if you use external lock on a glass door and all that, the only challenge is that some of the tape may not hold as well compared to when they're sticking on wood. So over time, you find that some of the tape is coming off. You may have to change some of the tapes for the specific, more heavy-duty tape for using on glass. I think that way it will work better. Okay. So apart from that, I think I cover most of the locks here. There is some more interesting ones here. Okay. This tool is more special purpose. This one is for if you have closets, sliding door. So it works like a little butterfly that you can install on the sliding door. It sort of like opens up and blocks the door from sliding. When you want to open the door, you have to press down the butterfly and you can open your door. And when you close, the butterfly will spring back. So that way it blocks the door from child from opening the sliding door. So this is the one. This one works for folding doors. So basically it is something that you install on top of a folding door. So on top of the folding door, then you can slide where the joint is. Once you slide where the joint is, the child again will be prevented from opening. And when you want to open your door, just simply slide it to the side away from the joint and you would be able to open your folding door. So these two, one for sliding door, one for folding door, but I must caution, they are not for use with heavy doors. So I mean, these are plastic locks. So if you have a very heavy sliding door like glass doors, aluminum doors, unfortunately, I would have cautioned that they don't really work very well. These are more suitable for lightweight, wood-based, maybe your closet sliding doors, but not the ones that are aluminum sliding doors. Okay, so this again will be more for your lighter weight folding doors. Okay. What? This one good? No. Okay. Okay, I covered pretty much the locks. I think the other part of home safety that is very common and is it can prevent a lot of pain is the corner protectors. So once a child reaches the crawling age, we're talking about maybe starting from 6-7 months onwards, you have to be very careful because when they start to learn how to crawl, they are not stable. So try to imagine going down to their level, they crawl, they slip, and if they were to hit a corner of a cabinet, for example, I am aware that a lot of laminated finishing, the edges can be really, really sharp. So take note of all these places and particularly corners. Why? Because corners can do the most damage. So imagine you yourself falling onto the corner of your cabinet, then that can get very nasty. So for those, try to prevent serious damage by having corner protectors. We have actually a full range of corner protectors for glass use. So this one is specifically used for thin glass. We even have the ones that are for there's fluorescent to ensure that you can see the corner at night. So we have a full range. Take a look online for all this. And we have also edge protectors. Edge protectors are useful because they are whole length. For example, this one, there's 2.4 meters of edge protection. So this will be very useful for those edges that your child potentially can fall on and hurt themselves, cut their face, you know. This edges of your cabinet, especially say, for example, your TV console, that's usually at a height where the child will be learning how to walk. So places like this, and some people may have like some stone installations and all that, and those, always try to imagine if you're at that height and you fall on them, what will happen? And then you will probably think that, you know, is it something that you want to prevent from happening? So corner protectors, edge protectors can help you a lot with preventing a lot of these accidents and from getting too serious. So take a look at them. We have them all online. Currently, the discount is until end of this week. Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much, Donnie, for sharing with us so much about electrical safety, drawer, cabinet locks, as well as corner protectors. I think it has been very useful. It will be something that we ladies can do easily as well. The gates leave it to the man. Okay, that's the end of our product showcases after 2 weeks. Tomorrow is the end, the last day of our sale online. For if you want to visit our retail showroom, we are open until 5:30 today. We won't be having any more product showcase tomorrow. And well, having been on live like almost every day for 2 weeks, made a small little break. So tomorrow is this coming Monday is actually,
because for those of you who have viewed us regularly, you know we have our parents huddle every first and third Monday of the month. But like Perlin mentioned, we have been live so frequently that we need a short little break. So we'll probably only come up, confirm we'll come up the third Monday of November,
yes,
which is 16th of November. All right, then we'll be back with Parents Huddle. So make sure to follow our Facebook and Instagram so that you get regular updates from us as well. Okay,
that's
so
1 p.m. right?
Yes, that'll be
parents.
1 p.m.
Yeah, so we'll be back with a live in November only on that day. So it's not us taking a break. I think it's for you to take a little break of offices. Nah, just kidding. So we'll see you in 3 weeks' time, I think. 3 weeks' time. I hope you had a fun time watching our product showcase, our pop-up sale that's kicked off the Gratitude 2020, and then we have the auction. I think a lot of people had fun, and of course people like the product showcase. Some people like to learn about new products, but again, we have a lot more products in store. So if you'd like to come visit us, we are open 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. every day except Wednesdays, Sundays, and public holidays. And remember, the sale is now on until only tomorrow. 2359.
So get your bargains today or tomorrow. If not, there won't be any more. All right. So with that, I think we are ready to say goodbye.
I think she's tired. She sounds tired.
If you want to catch up on our product showcases, it's still possible. We're not sure when we're going to remove it and if we're going to remove it. But if you want to, please go to our websites, either babyslingsandcarriers.com or babykidsandsafety.com, and go there and click on the big Gratitude banner that pops up on the main page of our website. You go there and there will be like a list of product showcases that we have done. You can click on the catch up button and it will lead you to our YouTube channel where you can catch up if you want to. And there are timestamps in the video, so if you're interested in a particular product, just click on the timestamp and enjoy the showcase from there.
All right, thank you.
So
have a good weekend. Bye bye.
Enjoy it then. Bye bye.